All right, we're gonna go ahead and unmute it before Greenwell has a panic attack because there's no sound.
Greenwell, the pumpkin man.
What did I say? There's always gonna be a comment because I see us talking and they think we're on there. What's going on, Greenwell? Yeah, he is.
Hello, how are you?
Hi.
Mr. Mike, how we doing? You bumping hard lately? Bump, bump.
I'm excited.
Sorry, guys, I don't want to put these on. Cause
Yeah, take them off.
No.
Rico,
It really
Rico
hurts
Suave.
my eyes.
Luke's got to see himself in the reflection of him now.
Eddie Church in the house here.
Yes,
Eddie
sir.
Church at our 6 o'clock.
Welcome, everybody. We're live from the Northwest Sportshow. We'll be here till 7 o'clock?
If you don't know where that is,
7 o'clock. 7
Minneapolis,
o'clock today.
Minnesota, guys.
Minneapolis Convention Center.
God dang.
$20 parking, $15 admission.
$17 meal.
And if you show your entry on your phone or show it to Chewy or Rika, you can get $15 off a rod. So you're pretty much getting in for free and paying normal price for the rod. And you can think of it however you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna save $15 on the rod, or you're
I like
gonna pretty
that.
much get your entry back.
And not only that, you guys get first steps to everything that we got that's going to be part of the our catfish opener in April, correct? Second week of April? Is that what we agreed to, or we're still not sure?
We can. Well, we'll talk about it later.
We'll
I'm
talk
not
about
sure
it
yet.
later, guys, and then we'll let you know. We'll text you, Eddie. Mama's in the house. Hi, Mama.
My mom.
She's been
Yeah.
watching us since the
She's
morning.
Did
been
she?
watching
Was
us.
she
She
in the
watches
one
us
I was
morning
on
when you were
earlier?
here, huh?
Was she in the one I was on earlier?
No,
I don't think she was in
no,
there.
she wasn't the one I
missed-
was on.
She missed
there.
the one I was on.
On purpose.
That's
she,
okay.
She watched the one we were
She watches
on.
all of our podcasts, even when I'm not in them.
Yep.
So it's
Oh.
wonderful.
That's good support,
It's my mother.
mommy.
I got a big fish today and the second place in the tournament. I'm good. Oh, that's
Nice.
That Greenwell.
good. Yeah.
That's awesome. Good
Teach
for
me
you.
the ways. I think I need to go sell some rods. There's a
How-
lot of
how-
people looking.
Mama
How
says she
big of a
was.
fish was it?
It's probably pretty big.
I know.
He's
I
good
want-
at
I
that.
want deep,
Funny.
so.
Anyways, you guys that don't know us, I'm Chew Dennis Jr. I'm the owner, co-owner
Hold
of.
on, hold on. Can you say that one more time, but don't mumble it?
I'm tired.
Yeah.
For those of
He's
you
very
that don't know us,
Your name, just your name.
I'm Chew Dennis
There
Jr.
we go.
I am the co-owner of Monte Bait and Tackle, old car bait and tackle,
You are
Stoke
tired.
Custom Baits,
Holy cow.
and also the one that created this wonderful podcast has been
Gosh,
pain in my
it's such a
neck.
good place to be.
Across from me is the
He loves
unfiltered, filtered, part of the
Filtered,
podcast.
unfiltered.
Your filter?
Look,
Nice.
Henches, the catfish, the greatest catfish in the Minnesota River. You ask them.
Shut. Don't
You-
even
you
bring
ask
that
him.
shit up again.
You ask them.
I'm number 2.
No, you're not.
Number 1's right on the end, over on the other side.
Oh, Mama.
No, the other side.
it.
Oh, we're talking about it. Well, we'll get to that guy soon here. And next to me is the Iceman, Scotty Goodman, Vexlar, Norfin, Stoke Customs, and also Phil Staffer for the Monte Beach Shop now. He's no longer part of Old Carver.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
he
he's not
made
a
it.
catfish.
He made it.
Yeah. And next to him is the Z-Roth.
See Roth,
Zach
my boy Z-Roth.
from Rivers Attic Guide Service that's joining us today and tomorrow. He will be doing a seminar with Luke on flat.
I'm not in it.
Oh, you're not gonna?
Nope.
You keep saying Luke. Luke's not in it.
Yeah, I'm not in it, buddy.
Just me.
Yeah, you're in it.
No,
They just didn't put your name because we weren't sure you were gonna come or not.
I'm not in it. He has his own. He already got it down. Time
Oh,
down
so you're gonna
there.
do it
Yeah.
by yourself?
It's mine.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm
So
on
we
the
can
board.
ask all
That's
kinds of
me.
questions then.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, for those of you guys that know, Luke was going to do it with Zach, but Luke wasn't feeling well at the time, so we weren't sure if he was going to show up or not. So Zach,
Zach
kind
would be
of
better for
covered,
the job.
covered
Nice.
for Luke. So that I'm really proud.
It went
I'm
from
happy.
subpar to real good.
I felt like a daddy when I went over and took him. I told him, stand next to the seminar so I can take a picture. Here you. Oh, dude, I do tomorrow.
He's like, yeah, go stand by it. I was like, it's not that big of a deal. Just
Yeah,
take
it's
a picture
just
of the
it's
poster.
the luck of the it's the luck of the drive. Had a really good 3 days. I wouldn't have had time to prep probably either. So
Yeah.
Right.
worked out okay.
And across from Zach, we got the lovely Nikki Huddleston, Mrs. No Muskie.
Oh, I know.
Add that in every time. Yep.
And we walked by
yeah.
that. We walked by that muskie down there. That is that a guide service or what is that?
It's a
Yes.
resort.
And
A
it's a
resort.
resort.
The resort.
And Scott wanted my picture by it.
And we're
You touch
I was
it, so you know what
I
they
was
feel
like, go
like.
stand by it and I'll take
we
your
we
picture.
were walking by and the muskie went poof. Yeah, that muskie do that? And
Started-
he's like, no. I said,
Muskie started
"Look,
laughing.
No, it's been man in the booth. I said, there's no man in the booth. And between Luke Hedges and Nikki, we got Matt Jolly Moore.
Yes.
And his nickname is Jolly.
Matt Moore.
And he is a pro staffer for what is it? Pro Tour Baits.
Yeah.
You're doing a really good
You
job.
gotta look at the
For
side.
Pro Tour Baits. I on screen
You know, it's awesome when you guys do the background
for
research.
5 years, right?
Huh?
For 5 years,
For
you've been
5
pro
years.
staffer.
Yeah, Pro Tour Baits. That's what I'm down here at the sports show with. You know, my title sponsor really is Powertran, and also Backwater Custom Tackle that's right beside them. And there's a list of others with the MPAA and the Airway Pedestals, Missouri Secrets Tackle, Taturi, YOLO Tech, of course, TFO rods. I mean, it's really been a journey over the last 10 years. So,
How did you get connected with Pro Tour?
with Pro Tour Baits, it really came down to sports shows, actually. Yeah, because I'm not close
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey,
Get a
believe me,
little
if
closer.
you need me closer, this I can
There
get
you
it.
go.
Don't worry, I'll
Yeah,
do
But I
it.
want if I do
gotcha.
this, I want you to turn up the bass, right? I want to stop.
Yeah.
No, it really came down to doing these sports shows. I mean, for me, it's about a fellowship, right? It's about seeing the guys that you don't normally see. And as I mentioned, Backwater Custom Tackles is one of my sponsors, which I don't know if you can see it on camera, but they are literally right next to the booth of Pro Tour Baits. And, you know, they do bulk plastics.
Yes.
And the cool thing is that they are probably two of the greatest people on the planet. I mean, they're just good people. And because of that, I wanted to be involved with it. You know, the same thing with Backwater Custom Tackle. I mean,
Makes it a lot easier
it
to work
really
for a
does.
company whenever the owners are.
they're cool, right?
Yeah.
You know, and they take care of me, and you know, it's been a journey over the last 5 years of bringing them into fishing with me at the Minnesota Teen Challenge. So
Yeah.
it's just cool stuff.
Tell us a
Right.
little bit
That's
about
awesome.
Minnesota Teen Challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
Oh
about?
man, Minnesota Teen Challenge is really where we have about 100 to 120 boats. We all get together. We raise funds for the Teen Challenge program, and last year I think we raised like $354,000 between 100 boats.
That's
awesome.
That's crazy.
Big
And
number.
it takes $18,000 to put someone that doesn't have insurance through treatment. So it's been a thing that I do every single year. I sell raffle tickets for it. I take donations for it, and we all do this as you know, in the industry. We just do this out of the goodness of the heart. And you know, you get to hobnob with your Al Linders and a lot of the pros out there. And it's just a way really to give back into the industry, you know, because we get to do all the kind of fun stuff anyway. So,
Yeah.
I've been doing that for almost 10 years.
So what exactly is Teen Challenge? Exactly.
Teen Challenge is a program that is developed around spirituality to take people that are suffering from addiction, whether it be drug and alcohol addiction, and to put them on the right track. And it's a long-term one, you know, it's like you go in there for a year. I mean, these aren't your people that just happen to slip and fall and have a drink.
Yeah.
These are people that literally have lost everything.
They need it.
They don't have the help to be able to even go into a treatment center. So this gives them that opportunity.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
You know.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Mhm.
special.
It is.
It's actually how I got into this entire industry. Because the Minnesota Teen Challenge is one of those tournaments that qualified for what's known as tracker rewards, right? And so that was the first tournament that I did after about my first tracker boat, and I was able to fish right alongside of Al Linder, and I've been hooked ever since. You
That's
know,
awesome.
yeah, and really, anybody can come fish that tournament. If you have a canoe, you can come fish that tournament.
And where's that at?
That's up in Brainerd on
Okay.
Gull Lake,
Oh, nice.
and they have it.
Nice.
the
Yeah,
gold chain.
yeah,
Cool.
What
And-
time of year is that?
it is the last week or first week of May or the first week of June, depending on where that Saturday lies in. This year it's June 2nd. And literally, if you've got a canoe, you can fish the tournament, and you'll literally be coached by Al Linder. He sits up there at the rules meeting and tells you where the fish are and how to catch them, right?
That's awesome.
And and I know some of you have
Is
seen
he a fisherman?
Al Linder.
I'm just joking.
Oh, my Oh, wow. For a split second, I actually
Oh.
believed you on that. My God.
That's the most famous name in fishing in Minnesota.
Right. You know. But yeah, it's just been something that I've always done. But no, you can come out there fish. There's 5 different classes that you can fish in.
That's
You can fish
awesome.
for panfish. You can fish for northern, a walleye, and a bass tournament all in one. So
That's pretty neat.
yeah,
That is.
it's a lot. But no muskie.
I wouldn't.
Sorry.
You're in luck.
Sorry.
Nikki.
I mean,
Rats.
So that means
Catch them all the time.
so that means that Nikki could possibly place if she were to
Yeah.
get in that tournament.
I'm way too close to her. Way too close to her. So,
You say you
Great.
live close to her?
no.
No, he's just
I
sitting
don't
next
think
to
so.
her.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just-
no.
He's in striking range.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
striking range.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Tell us about that rod. You're telling me a story about a rod that you created for
Oh my
stroke
God.
victims.
you know, all my life, there's you only get these opportunities once in a while, and this is one of those ones that you hold dear to your heart for the rest of your life. And what it was is I was working, because I got to work full time to be able to afford fishing.
Yeah, it's
Who does that
not cheap.
nowadays?
You know, right? And so I was working with a guy, and he says to me that I said, well, you take he has a son. And I said, well, you take him fishing. And he says, no, he can't fish. And I said, what do you mean he can't fish? And he says, well, he had a stroke. And so he's weak on half his whole body. He can't hold a fishing rod. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do something about that. That boy is going to be able to fish. So there was a company that I had fell into doing a sports show in Wisconsin, and that guy, it's the Jig Ripper. And I realized that the way this kid rides a bicycle is his dad made a glove with Velcro on it, and he put Velcro around the handlebars, and he can hold on to it that way, and he can
Nice.
ride a bicycle. And I went, So
the lights started blinking in your brain.
It did. And there was like no turning back. So I designed a fishing rod with the Jig Ripper in mind. I wrapped it up in Velcro. It is on my YouTube site, and I made it 0 weight. So I perfectly balanced that rod so that with the glove he can hold onto the Jig Ripper, which is a vertical handle, and he can hold that. It's a bait caster because I needed to have something that you could cast with one hand.
Yeah.
Right. So now he can take his arm on arm
Mhm.
and he can cast it and he can fish because his left hand is a good hand. So it winds on the left. His right hand is held by the Velcro, and he can hold that right up on the side of the boat. And he's been fishing ever since.
That's so cool.
That's
You know what I mean?
Put that
Yeah.
video here real quick.
So that, and what I'm finding out is a lot of the people, I do a lot for the veterans, and a lot of the veterans come back to where they lost partial mobility
Yeah.
in half their body, and this will work for them
Can
too.
people see this?
Right.
So that's what I created,
It's
That's
amazing.
awesome.
you know.
Great concept.
And the reason that
So
you're
then
seeing
the-
that black on there is because when you have a stroke, your skin becomes very sensitive. So I put padding on there, and that's actually pipe padding, right? I put pipe padding on there so that it'd soften up when he could hold it with
Yeah,
his
yeah.
arm against
Yeah.
his body.
My
So
body, yeah.
yeah. So
That's
So and then
cool.
essentially
That's awesome.
the glove sticks to the Velcro when you grab it.
yeah, the glove is Velcro, the opposite of what the Jig Ripper is. So when
Yeah.
you put it on there, it's gonna stay there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
That's super
so
cool.
cool.
that was the one thing that I will hold forever is being able to get back to that. And I've never charged for it. There is no charge for it. If you want to know how to make it, my video is out on YouTube. Feel free to use it. Get a hold of the Jig Ripper for parts. And otherwise, it's just a simple balancing tool that you have for any kind of fishing rod. You know, the ones that you stick on there and you add the weights in the middle,
Yeah.
and you balance it out with the bait caster on there so that it doesn't pull down on their arm in any way whatsoever.
Perfect balance right on
Yeah.
that handle.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So I really want anybody to take it, use it.
That's
That really
awesome.
gives people that have a handicap like that
A big opportunity.
some where they can feel comfortable and they're not in pain or struggling.
Right.
The opportunity.
Yeah. Or
Well,
a boost in
opportunity,
confidence
yeah.
too. Like,
Exactly.
Mhm.
You know, be able to fish on your own is take some pride,
yes.
you know, and be able to do that. And I think that's the big message that his dad wanted for him, is that he wants him as independent as possible. And when he
And
said so
I don't want to make light of it, like kind of joke, not about that specifically, but for people that are just in general weak, like Chewy, could that help him at all?
I think you would have to start with the wrap on the wrist
Wrist strap
and,
yeah,
and
I
get the
think
wrist
so,
all,
too.
because I noticed that his hand kind of falls a little
So,
bit there.
yeah, a
so-
little limpy.
I figured he was gonna be sleeping when I
Started
got
out on the
back.
wrist.
No.
We can so he can
No.
fix the little curve you got
Yeah.
going
Oh,
on.
No,
my
we'll just
God.
get him one of those shark things that shoots his bait out across for him.
We got
Cast.
Chewy, we got you.
So this is probably going to be the last time I'm on this podcast.
You said the wrist thing, not me.
Oh, don't invent any more stuff.
So
I think that's
I'm
great.
done making
Yeah.
fun of
That
Chewy.
is awesome.
That is amazing.
What's going on with you? What's next? What's after this show?
I got into, and I think this was right around 5 years ago too, is some people asked me to help out some kids in the high school because they've got bass leagues in there, right?
Yep.
And they didn't have anybody to help them out. And I said, okay, I'm a walleye guy. I do the pro walleye series, and here's a bass. But you know what? If I'm gonna help, I'm gonna help kids, right?
Yeah.
So I went in. I was helping them, and what ended up happening is I was doing what's known as a boat captain, which means you're basically volunteering all of your stuff in your boat and your time.
Yep.
And you're letting the kids use your boat. And so I was doing that, and in the middle of the tournament, they're struggling, and they looked at me and they said, "Help." And I had nothing for them because I was a walleye guy. So for the last 5 years, I've been 100% dedicating my life to learning bass fishing, because I will never, ever have another kid across from me ask me, what can I do, and not have an answer.
Yeah.
Well, that's all led up to current day, where now I'm the education coordinator for Spring Lake Park. Shout out to Spring Lake Park, right?
That's awesome.
And
Nice.
and I realized that I don't do bass tournaments. So I said, I'm going to do bass tournaments.
Send it.
Send it.
I
right?
did one.
Yeah,
It
right?
was fun. It's one of the funner tournaments I ever did, and I don't even bass fish
These
very
bass
much.
Right.
tournaments are amazing.
It
They're
was
so
fun.
much fun.
They are a lot.
I
of
filled
fun.
my bucket, but I didn't place very good. But it's still fun.
Well, I signed up for the Greenhorn tournament series because I don't do anything halfway, right?
Full,
Right.
full
Yeah.
bore.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then I found out that I can't do the beginners because of the sponsors that I already have. So I'm actually doing what I'm calling the elite Sunday Greenhorn against some really good bass fishermen.
But you're gonna learn a lot.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right? I mean, you go up to the best and you learn from the best.
Yeah.
And
That's a fact. Surround
know.
yourself with people better than you, and
You
you'll get
will
better.
learn.
exactly, right?
Yep.
And it's only going to help those kids. And if the end result is that I get smoked all year long, but I got information to tell them, that's good with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares?
Yep.
Who cares?
You'll learn.
Well, and think
Exactly.
about where they're going to be by the time they're our age or your age. You know, if
Yeah.
you stick at it,
My
that
age,
kind of
yeah.
experience.
70, 80 years.
I know, forever.
No, I mean,
No, it's and what's really cool is just before we went on air, I had one of my Spring Lake Park kids come up and ask me to take a picture,
Yeah.
right? Because one of the things is that if you're going to get in this fishing industry, there's these things called sponsors, and you have to take care of those sponsors. I
Yeah,
mean,
you
it's
do.
critical, right? I mean, there's a lot of people going after the same sponsorship. Well, it turns out that Pro Tour Baits has offered their time, and they're going to offer some things to the kids. They don't know it yet, so I don't want to talk about it, but they're going to make some offers to these kids. So one of the things that these kids can actually letter it like you would for football or
Yeah.
whatever in
Yep.
bass fishing.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
awesome.
yeah,
I wish they had that when I was in high school.
I would never make it
Same.
through school. I'd have been doing nothing but fishing. But part of the deal was that they have to earn points to get the letter. So they're
Yeah.
coming down for to see Pro Tour Baits, to see me, and they have to have a photo, and that photo has to contain Pro Tour Baits in the photo, and they have to be able to explain what Pro Tour Baits is. Because one of the things that we see is in the high school side is they have a lot of sponsors
Yep.
that want to help out the kids, but the kids don't know anything about the sponsors, and so I'm changing that.
Hey, you got to give back
Yeah.
to what people are giving you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
You have to have
You,
some sort of give back when people are sponsoring you. Otherwise, and it's no offense to the kids, but
Yep.
that company's wasting their money at that point.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that there has to be someone to say you need to know,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so a all of the kids now are wearing their jerseys all the time, because I talk about it saying if someone's going to sponsor you, you know, if you go into a position where there's a possibility for a photo in any way, I want you in those jerseys because you're representing those people that have given you money that allow you to fish.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and it sounds kind of harsh saying, you know, you got to put in effort when people. It's hard to explain, but those it's still a business
still a
for that
business.
company, and they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart.
Yep.
Hoping the kids will promote their products and know what they are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, it's kind of harsh to say, but you know, you need to promote that businesses are doing it for something in return. It's not businesses are just doing it to lose money.
No.
And that's just the bottom line. Is a lot of pro staff now. I'm not going to get into the whole pro staff thing.
No, we
but-
don't do that.
No, but they do it expecting an outcome of social media posts and promoting them, knowing what they're actually representing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I'm down here at the sports show.
Well, in certain companies, like, they require certain stuff from you later on, and they will learn that as they go if they get further into it. But,
I was sponsored by Navionics, right?
Are they a hunting company?
Luke.
And
The
And that-
jokes.
that little chip that they had, the contract that came with it was 3.5 pages long of the requirements by that company.
Oh, I believe it.
You know, and a lot of them don't have those kinds of requirements, but a lot do.
Yeah.
And I talk about that with all of the kids. I make sure that I'm, being the education coordinator, right? I've taken the experience that I've had over these last 10 years and really talked to them about what a sponsor
No,
means.
and I don't think some of them realize it in the
They-
beginning.
Yeah, we
They
got
do, but they don't,
so
you know?
when we were in Northwoods, we got asked by a worldwide fishing company. Eagle Claw was the company.
Yeah.
They asked us that we reached out because Jacob's dad's a fisherman in the Netherlands, and he's big with Eagle Claw. And we reached out to him and they're like, hey, check out our videos. And they're like, oh my God, we'd love to work with you. Here's our requirements. And it says you must do 2 fishing shows that represent Eagle Claw. And we just like instantly said, like, we can't fulfill that.
Right.
So we just said we can't do it.
Yeah.
Why was that?
What's that?
Why was that?
We just didn't have interest in. We couldn't fulfill what they wanted, and we didn't want to have to go to those shows and
It
feel
would've been a
obligated.
lot.
That is actually a really good topic, because one of the things I talked about is once you're outside of the high school, where the high school itself is actually promoting your sponsors, and you go out to sponsor and get sponsors, don't get sponsors that you don't actually really like
Yeah.
their product.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
You
got to
know,
be able to
right.
work
Yeah.
with them
Right.
every
Yeah.
day and
Yep.
You don't-
use it.
You don't go and say, if you sponsor me, I will use this. You use that and you promote it, and then you go to them and
Yeah.
say, I would like to work out a deal with you.
I really
where I-
like this product.
Exactly.
I
And
would like to
that's-
back it and promote
And if you
it.
promote a product without being sponsored by them, those companies see that
They'll-
stuff.
they'll-
sometimes.
do.
Yep, they do.
Yep. That's a big deal. That's a really big deal. So
And that's how I know a lot of people that have gotten onto teams like that, just promoting their stuff on the side, and then the team will approach them and be like, hey,
if they can say, who is this guy that keeps or
Yeah.
girl, sorry,
that
that keeps promoting my product and tagging me, and I'm seeing it all the time, it is a no-brainer to be able to get that contract.
yep.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely.
And if
Yep.
it's a good way to get their attention anytime to do that. So.
That's right. Yep.
25 times.
That's where the pro staff talk ends because
Yeah.
I got more and I don't want to say it.
We don't want to. Yeah, we don't get into a lot of that.
No,
Yeah.
You know,
I'm not doing
You
it
go
today.
pro staff, you sell, you help them sell 20 lures and you get 2 points.
That's
So
where
then
I'm
you-
not going to talk about it.
Then you
No,
figured you have to get
Some of them just,
200 more points
your
to buy a
worth,
lure.
too.
I
at
just
half
think there's a
off.
lot of companies that take advantage of people, and that's
There-
all.
there
I'll
are.
just say that.
I feel that if you're going to be a pro staffer in that company, well, look, this too. You say it better than I do. Luke.
If someone's going to put in all that effort to promote your company and sell you, let's say I sold $50,000 worth of rods for
Mhm.
Catch the Fever, I should get paid for it,
Yeah.
not just a 10% off.
Yeah, exactly.
okay, so that's actually a really valid question or valid statement on there. And what I can say about that is when we first started talking, I started talking about the relationships that I have with the people in the industry that come to the sport shows, along with the relationship that I have with the sponsors that I have, right?
And before you say anything, I just
Yeah.
want to be clear that doesn't represent people all sponsored, like fishing teams. it's completely different than what I'm saying. I'm talking adults
Yep.
or content creators that have a big following on social media
Yep.
that are doing all this work, posting all these posts that aren't getting monetary. I don't think it's all about the money because you have to love
No.
the product.
Like me
Well-
with my 600 followers that somebody
It's,
bought
it's
me.
it's a weird subject because there's so much going on with different companies and how they do pro staff and stuff now. But
The interesting thing to what you're saying though is that within almost every company that I've seen, there is people getting paid. You just don't know about it. And so what it comes down to is understanding and knowing your value.
Yep.
100%
Right.
know your
I was saying,
value.
Know your value. And if you're not willing to walk away, right, you're never gonna be valued.
It's your own fault.
It's your own fault. That's really,
100%.
I mean, it really is. Now, with that being said, once you get into the paid realm for a sponsor, the amount of dedication and the time that you have to do for that
It goes
becomes
up.
another job,
It
right?
can, yeah.
It goes
And so
up a
you
lot.
really have to make that decision on what level you want to go and what are you willing to do to get there.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it's possible, I could go into a paid position for TFO or well, I don't want to talk about Powertrain. Powertrain is one that I've put 10 years of work into, and there's some compensation there, but it took 10 years of work, and it also took helping that business. We talked about business, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It
You
took
gotta
that
grow with
business
them.
from something that sold 1,000 units or 100 units a year to now they're $1 million worth of product a year. And I was part of R&D in that company and promoting that company and going down to Florida and promoting that company. There's a lot of sacrifice I had to do for that company in order to get there.
And that's where they should be compensating you
Exactly.
at this point where they can.
Yeah, and as much as we'd like to say, and not that I'm disagreeing, but let's say that my content has got 10,000 followers, and I'm talking about your product. You prove to me that my product went up as a result of your content,
Mhm.
and I guarantee you'll get paid.
Yeah.
But if you can't do what it takes to prove that it was your content,
Mhm.
you're just another YouTuber claiming content. You know what I mean?
I agree.
You
and
know.
that's I think that's where catfishing is revolutionizing promotional staff
Yep.
people in the industry right now, paying their people that use their discount
They
codes.
are, or people that-
1099.
Break state records.
Every person, and if you get a state record with like our Rod that we're sponsored by,
Yeah,
you
catch
get
the
20,000.
Yep.
If he's a guide, if he's guiding someone, then his guest gets a state record, they get 20,000.
That's
Pretty
awesome.
crazy.
Nice.
And that's the
It's,
way it
yeah.
should be.
Yep.
And like if I have a page that I go to that says how many people viewed using my code or use my link, how many people
Yeah.
used my code, and then it says your pay, and it makes it feel like what you're doing, pushing the product, which we love, that it's actually worth doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
And now
Nice, nice.
other companies within the catfish industry are following suit,
Yep.
and it's awesome to see.
Well, yeah, they can be left in the dust with that.
Because social media,
It's kind of like
Um,
your tracker tournaments that
Yep.
you were doing in the beginning that got you to where you are.
Yeah.
Same kind of
it's
deal.
cool. I think the whole industry is going to eventually come around to 1099 more people in it, because there's a lot of people pushing really well, like people that represent like you,
Mhm.
that deserve something from it.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they come around to that.
And that comes back to know your worth, man. I mean, it's
It does. It really,
it's
really
just
does.
what it
Yeah.
comes down to, and it's your own fault if you want to stay in it. I mean, it's not a bad thing if you want to do it out of the goodness of your heart and you really love the product and you're okay
Mhm.
not getting paid. That's fine.
Yeah.
But
Do it if you're having fun too.
100%, it doesn't matter.
I had fun in the beginning. And
in
then
the end, it
led to
doesn't
more,
matter,
you
but just
know?
know your worth. I mean, that's what it comes down to
Exactly.
for promotional staff, or if you're an ambassador or if you're a representative of a company,
I
just
think
know your
we've
worth.
all
Yeah,
been in with some, I don't know, douchebags, I guess. The only way I know to say it. We've all staffed for one or two at least.
Yeah, I'm pretty picky.
well,
Yeah, I learned my lesson pretty early.
Yeah,
on.
you'll learn. You learn.
when I started doing work for Pro Tour Baits, it was all free.
Yeah.
Because I value
Passion about it.
Yeah.
and I value good people.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Good
And they-
people just trying to make a
They're
dollar.
easier to back.
They are,
when
and
they
then
got a good
when
product
the
and
product
they're
is
good.
good as they are, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's really a no-brainer to me. I get so excited about this show because I get to see those two people, the
Yeah,
owners.
it's
you know?
awesome.
And now that I've talked them into doing the teen challenge with me, I
And you
get to
can
them
see the
again.
passion you have for those companies. It's
Yeah.
pretty neat.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's really
Appreciate
neat.
It's good to see.
Real passion, a true passion is what you
Yeah,
have. You
yeah.
can see it in your face when you talk
So,
about them.
I don't think we even.
It's
went
not a
over-
great face, but it. You can see, I can see the passion.
This is a radio face. I don't, you know. I had a guy come up to me today. He goes, "So you're Matt Jollymore?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I friended you on Facebook. I thought you were taller."
That's so funny.
I get the same shit. Oh, you were skinnier. They always say to me. Shut up.
So how long have you been fishing in total then?
You know, that's an awesome question, actually.
Yeah, we had to ask it.
No, that's fine. I've actually only been fishing for, let's say, 10 and a half years. That's it. My dad was an art teacher. Grandfather, he left us way too early. And, I started really fishing only about 10 and a half years ago.
You can
That's
do a lot
awesome.
in 10 years.
You can
though.
do it. Yeah.
Time
yeah.
on the water. I don't care how long you fished. Someone that's fished 2 years solid of bass fishing every day
Mhm.
can be better than someone that's fished 20.
No.
Yep.
You can learn so much. You
Yeah.
can learn a lot with a lot of time on the water, being around people that are a lot smarter than you.
Well, and if they're doing a lot of research, they're like, I know guys that are way more up to date on a lot of these newer rigs than what I haven't even
And,
heard of some
dude,
of them.
I
I'm like,
was-
what?
I'll tell you,
You
I
know?
don't do half measures. So when I talked about, those kids talking to me and wanting to learn, I went up to a gentleman by the name of Coop Jr. out of Brainerd, who is a PWT pro. He's in the
my-
Fishing Hall of Fame,
He's my buddy.
right? You know them,
Yeah.
right?
They make him special, these special offers for his pike tournaments.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah.
So him and Cindy and I went up and I said, I need help. So I have gone to the best. When I bring in speakers for the kids that the Spring Lake Park, I mean, 3-time Bassmaster champion is who I brought in to talk about how to break down a lake.
That's cool.
You know what I mean?
And when you ask them, they're like, hell yeah, I'll
and
do
that's the
it,
same
you know?
thing. Like people always say to me, like all the time, like you're the best fisherman I've ever met.
Right?
And I say you should see Zach Rothbauer. I fish with him. That's where I learned.
Right? Right?
Nobody's ever said that to me. By the way.
No, trust me. When I bring these guys in, they are good enough. I'm taking notes. I'm like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
I think that anybody that is beyond learning is beyond care.
You're never going to stop
100%.
learning
You know what I
fishing.
mean? It's just-
Never think you're the never.
Yeah.
Always, there's always room to learn.
Yeah.
Every fish can stump you,
Mm-hmm.
and there's always someone that can help you figure that stump out.
You know?
Exactly. Yep.
It's reality. The
I've
fishing.
learned, if you're not, I don't know, like I'm learning from everybody I can all the time.
That's like my buddy has life. He's the TikToker. He owns
Yeah.
the Force Rods. He said, "Sir, Mark Cooper, my friend Mark, he owns Four Reel Fishing. This hat." He says, I always surround myself people that are a lot smarter and more successful than me because it brings out the best.
Yes.
Which
Absolutely.
is a fact.
100.
That is a fact.
That's true.
It's-
Yeah, that you're just gonna get more jealous.
no.
There's no room for jealousy.
No.
And
I mean,
I
it could
don't.
drive
I hang
you
around
up.
Chewy to learn Spanish, not to learn how to fish. by the
Same.
way.
Shut your mouth.
we make plastics.
No, Chewy's a great fisherman. He just doesn't have any freaking time. Owning two
So
bait
he's-
shops, having a full-time career, the guy literally has
And
zero time to
kids.
do anything.
And a wife and kids.
Yeah,
Wait, Chewy, you have kids?
I don't know how he sleeps.
3 of them.
Big kids.
He's
I don't
got
know
a-
how he sleeps.
Dude.
I've known Chewy for years. I never knew he had a kid. Yeah, 24-year-old, an 18-year-old, and a 16-year-old.
Yeah, 24-year-old, 16, and 18.
Yes, sir. I'm an old man. No
You're an old man. I've got a 46-year-old daughter.
Oh, that's
You are old.
oh.
I've got great grandkids.
You're really
wow.
I have an almost 2-year-old and a 2-week-old.
I
2 weeks
got-
old. That's right.
That's why you got all your hair and it's all colored. Yeah.
That'll
yeah.
change quick.
You're faring pretty well then with
Yeah.
the new one.
Yeah, I'm up till 4 in the morning
I got to meet.
on
they
purpose.
daughters?
I
I
got
do it
to
on
meet
purpose.
Asher.
Yep.
He's a cute little nugget.
He finally met my daughter too.
My daughter loved
Nice.
my puppy.
Yeah.
Puppy?
First thing my daughter Ainsley said when she saw Luke is, "Uncle."
That's me.
Oh.
And then I put the dog outside in his kennel because he was barking and wouldn't stop barking. So we were in the garage, and I just put him outside the garage in his kennel and shut the garage door because he's barking. All of a sudden, his daughter just starts bawling, "Puppy!"
Yeah,
like
like
it disappeared
freaking out
forever.
because he's shutting the door with the dog outside. He's like, "No, puppy, puppy, puppy."
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh
If you
man,
bring him to the shop in Carver, you
I just
should
want to
be-
note everyone keeps looking at the front of this table, looking to see what podcast we are.
I know. We need a sign really bad.
Yeah,
Nothing there.
yeah.
We need a sign.
I
really
actually
bad.
sat at
So,
this table and
actually-
asked that question.
Actually,
Yeah.
guys, we got a backdrop that's like the one over by like
The one that didn't come in.
Oh, yeah.
and they said it was gonna get here Monday, and then I called. They said it was gonna get here Wednesday. And I called
Chewy
again.
last minute Godinez Jr.
No, that was ordered. that was ordered for 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, should have been 4
That's when
months.
it's-
Yeah.
We've had some
We
here.
just found out about this 4 weeks ago. Anyways, we ordered this same day because we wanted to order it. It doesn't just have the podcast; it has everything that we're about, MCR
Sure,
Outdoors. But didn't get here, and then I called again, and then somebody else answered and said, "Dude, it hasn't even been started." So
That's
I said, "You know what?
crazy.
Just cancel it." And they're here locally. They're about 20 minutes away from our Monty shop.
Are we gonna blast them or are we gonna keep
So,
it on low
I'm
down?
not gonna-
Well, I've
Yeah, you might
experienced
want to
some of
order
that
one,
when
later.
we were shipping
But
things
you know,
to Florida.
the thing is
For
that
ICAST.
still,
Oh, yeah.
still haven't gotten our
Yeah,
money
that's
back.
huge. If you
That's-
miss something for ICAST,
Oh, it
woo!
was. But you know, the thing is that we roll, we adjust, we figure it out, we make the best of it. It's just, and
And that's what
it
we've
just
done
seems
here
like
today.
that's what we all do.
I mean, look
in
at our
this industry.
guests.
Look at what?
Look at our guests. We made it happen.
Man, I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, you went deep and low for me.
We went high.
Oh my God.
We're right over there.
We have a tier list. You're in the A tier.
Oh man, no way.
So
No
you're
way.
in the top.
I'm just a guy. You
I
know?
think this is really great. No, I think I'm glad to meet you. I know I've seen you before, but we never really talked. And I keep forgetting the owner's name.
Oh, you mean Darren?
Darren,
Darren
yeah,
Yvonne?
Darren.
Yep. They're awesome.
Yeah, I've known him forever too. He probably doesn't remember me, but I known him forever. We used to
Oh
always
no, we talk about the
and-
stalker.
and I remember like we used to there was a point where we were gonna get together and we were gonna do this big custom bait thing, and
Yep.
it didn't happen because of COVID, and so we
It happens.
didn't hear
it's a-
nothing again. So hopefully one day we can talk about it again and get that rolling, because that's
think you
really
should.
something I
Right?
would
Other
like
than
to
you're
do.
gonna have even less time to fish.
Yeah.
We've had good guests today. Random
Dude,
guests.
we've had
We've
awesome
Yeah.
good guests today.
Yeah.
Matt. We've had everyone.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know,
no.
Can
Yes,
can I do a little shout out? Sure. For Z Roth.
Sure.
If you guys want to get on the river this summer with Z Roth,
Here's
book
the
your
card.
trip ASAP. He's getting booked up. He's starting guiding.
May 18th.
May 18th is his first trip. So if you want to get out in a badass jet boat,
And it is
it is
nice.
decked out
I have
Yeah.
seen
and it goes
pictures.
really fast.
Just the pictures.
And he hits logs and stuff. It's really fun. Safely.
I don't purposely hit log.
We jump stuff. I fish with Zach. If you guys want to see him catching fish, I have videos with Zach in the boat on the Rods and Reloads channel, and
Nice.
he's a good, awesome guide. He has the biggest bullheads you can use for the biggest flatheads. That's why he catches the biggest flatheads in the guide business.
That's awesome.
So make sure you get riveraddictsguideservice.com.
Fine.
Then we'll have to get together and go to that tournament.
Yeah, I agree. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be really fun. I don't have a
Yeah.
lot of money to donate, but I got a boat.
We
I'm
just go get
excited
people
for
to donate money to us to donate.
magazine thing.
I can
Yeah,
get I
I
can
am
get
too,
mon-
yeah.
people to donate money. I have
That's-
no
that's all
problem
we
doing
gotta
that.
do.
Pretty crazy what
I
I
think.
know.
one conversation will do.
I know.
Yeah,
That was awesome. I'm excited to see all that unfold.
I am too.
Well, Matt, we appreciate you coming on and telling us
Yeah,
about
man, thank
Teen
you so
Challenge.
much.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I stopped to talk to you.
Yeah.
I don't get opportunities like this often, so it's always great.
And if
when I
people
get-
want to donate or help out with Teen Challenge, what is the route there to go to
Yeah.
get in contact?
one of the easiest ways is to go on to my site, and you don't need to have a Facebook account to get there. But if you go to Jollymore, Matt, I always have the donation pinned on the top of it. If you're interested in fishing the tournament, just message me, and I'll put all the pieces together for
And
you.
that's in May, June.
That'll be June 2nd this year.
June 2nd around
June
the
2nd.
Brainerd Gull Lake chain, guys. If you want to get in on
Yeah.
that, and it helps take out teens struggling.
Yeah, addiction. And what's really cool about this, just to share a little more of just how personal you get, the patients, the people that are in trying to stay sober, come to the tournament. And like when you bring in your boats, they're out there getting your fish for you. They're singing, they're sharing their stories and that kind of thing. So you really understand what you're doing and who you're doing it for. You get to see them, and right there.
That's
And-
awesome.
And they get so much joy from meeting us.
Here comes the
I
trash.
know.
can again.
I'm not even gonna look this time. But they get the joy from seeing us there just to help them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, if you want to, just that to be able to feel what I get to feel each year, just bring your jet boat. It doesn't matter what you got. Get on the water and you
Our
get
boats
to,
are very lake capable.
Yeah, they
Oh,
are.
yeah.
well, I mean, it's called lake. There's not a problem with
Right.
your
We're
boats.
good.
You know what I mean?
anyways. Yeah.
Right.
And what they do is they ask you for $200 to get in. That's all donation. It becomes donation to your team, and throughout that, the teams themselves can get stuff. Right, top 10 of every bracket gets to go in and get a lot of this donated stuff. Al Linder does all of his rods every year. There's trolley motors. There's a boat you can win.
Wow.
As a guide?
As just being a volunteer.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know.
That's cool.
Fun.
Yeah,
That's super
So-
cool.
So there's something you can look forward to as being a captain too and helping out.
absolutely.
I
That's
didn't realize Alan.
And that's the only way. There's no web. Is there a website for Teen Challenge?
Yeah, there is. You can definitely do. What I'd search for is the Minnesota Fishing Challenge 2024,
Okay. Minnesota Fishing
Yep.
Challenge 2024.
and it'll come up where you can actually sign up.
Cool. That's awesome. Well, thank you for
That
coming
is
on.
Very
man.
awesome.
Hey, I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. I
And,
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
this morning before my coffee.
Yeah.
I know.
I think that's
Yeah.
the last podcast of today, correct?
That is correct.
And tomorrow we'll have another one.
We'll have
Yeah.
line cutters, Darren line cutters.
Me and Zach will be back.
That's gonna be live.
Yeah.
Me and Zach will be back tomorrow. Zach has a seminar at 3:00. He's the last seminar. They saved the best for last. He's got the flathead. Or it's a intro to catfishing,
It's intro to catfishing. It's listed as
flathead fishing,
flathead
Minnesota
fishing,
River.
Minnesota River. But I'll touch base on both flathead and channel catfish. We'll talk a little about blue, very slightly, and then talk about where you can get them and catch them in the state of
Yeah.
Minnesota.
So,
That was-
so am I gonna be able to take after listening to what you're talking and am I gonna be able to go and grab my boat and go out into
Yep.
the St. Croix and actually have an understanding of maybe what kind of setup and possibly where to
Yeah.
go?
I
Yeah.
think you're going to have a better understanding of where to target channel and flathead catfish on Mississippi and
Yep.
the Minnesota River.
Yeah.
During spring, summer, fall, and then I just touch a little bit about wintering habits.
Okay.
But spring, summer, fall, you'd be able to know where to catch
The Croy,
channel and flathead
Sweet.
the
catfish.
Croy's a
Sweet.
little tougher, but
Yeah,
It is.
I
right?
never make it out to the Croy. It's a whole different ball game.
it is a different ball game.
It's definitely different than what
But the same patterns will
Same
represent.
patterns.
It's going to be structure and edges of holes. I mean, that's just what it
Nice.
comes down to. So, yeah.
Okay.
But thank you so much for coming on, Matt.
Thanks,
Hey,
man.
That
thanks
was
for having me.
awesome.
And, we will see you guys tomorrow on the Old Carver Fishing Podcast here at the Minnesota Sports Show at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Stop by tomorrow. Let's get after it.